16th July 1945. This was the day when the weapon that destroyed humanity, the atomic bomb, was being tested for the first time. For the first time in human history, a weapon had entered the battlefield that was going to change the world forever. The physicist who made this atomic bomb, J. Robert Oppenheimer, had no idea that the weapon he had made could be so terrifying. When he saw its destruction with his own eyes, he said these historic words:
"Now I am become death, the destroyer of worlds."
Why and how did this atomic bomb put Oppenheimer on the brink of destruction? Why did the United States humiliate and disgrace the person whose hard work had won World War II? Welcome to Poly TV videos once again. Viewers, Oppenheimer had accomplished a lot in his life, but he will always be remembered as the father of atomic bombs in history. He was born in 1904, and at the age of only 18, his dream of becoming a chemist took him to Harvard. As soon as he got admission, he could not join classes for a whole year due to illness. But still, he completed his 4-year degree in just 3 years. Along with becoming a chemist, he was also very interested in physics. After graduating from Harvard, he went to Göttingen University in Germany for research on theoretical physics and completed his PhD at the age of only 23. His nature was that he did not get along with anyone. He just had more attention on his research. He came back to the United States and started his research again. Until then, he had nothing to do with atomic bombs. But then Hitler's reign began in Europe, and he tasked a few German scientists with making the world's most powerful weapon. Now here is the entry of Albert Einstein. Yes, Einstein sensed this threat from Hitler and wrote a letter to American President Roosevelt saying that we should also prepare such a weapon. Otherwise, Hitler can overpower us tomorrow. After reading Einstein's letter, the American president took immediate action and ordered the U.S. military to start a research project on atomic bombs. This famous project is now known as the Manhattan Project. It is believed that an atomic bomb would never have been made if Albert Einstein had not written this letter to the American president. Well, it should have been that the U.S. Army chose Einstein for the Manhattan Project because he had written this letter to the American president. But that did not happen. Albert Einstein's background was from Germany, and the U.S. Army suspected that Einstein was up to something with them. For this reason, the Manhattan Project was handed over to Oppenheimer. Oppenheimer was very opposed to Einstein's views, and he also wanted America to make atomic bombs. For this secret project, a whole city was built in New Mexico called Los Alamos. The U.S. government started spending a lot of money on the project. In the period of 1945, a total of $2 billion was spent on this project. In American history, this was going to be the most important and most secret project, but it was very challenging for the U.S. military to keep this secret. A total of 130,000 workers worked on the Manhattan Project in Los Alamos. These people were selected after a long investigation so that no news about the project could be known to the outside world. These included scientists, technicians, and researchers, as well as lower staff. Everyone was given these directions not to tell anyone about the project, not even their families. No one here knew each other by real name. Everyone was given a fake name, and the rule of the project site was that if someone's real name was leaked, he would be punished. Letters used to come here, but at a fake address. The address was P.O. Box 1663, New Mexico. Even the city name was not mentioned in the official letters. For the censorship of the letters, the censor department used to open all the letters first and then send them forward. Similarly, the letters sent from here were also read first. There was strict security to enter the project site. Workers could not enter without an entry pass, and it was not possible to leave without an exit pass. Even the birth certificate of the children born in Los Alamos did not have a city name, but only P.O. Box 1663 was written. All this was being done so that no small information related to the atomic bomb could be leaked. Oppenheimer had already done research on nuclear fission before the Manhattan Project. This is a reaction in which atoms can be split and more energy can be generated. The heaviest element found in nature is uranium. Uranium has 92 protons and 146 neutrons in one atom. If you add them together, you get the total atomic mass of uranium, which is 238. Now, after many experiments and research, scientists have found that if uranium-238 is passed through a special process, uranium-235 comes out of it. And this is an extremely unstable element. That is, if a neutron is collided with this new uranium-235, then uranium splits and generates an unbelievable amount of energy. As soon as it splits, new neutrons are released, which are found in other uranium-235 atoms, and this reaction repeats again and again. This entire chain reaction is completed in just a few microseconds, and we get to see the sequence of all the reactions in the form of a powerful explosion and energy release. If a nuclear bomb is compared to a normal TNT bomb, then it will be like mixing an elephant with an ant. Just imagine that a 1 kilo atomic bomb is equivalent to a 3,500 kilo TNT bomb. That is, if a little boy bomb, which had destroyed the entire Nagasaki, had to do the same destruction with a TNT bomb, then America would have had to drop a 1.5 crore kg TNT bomb. It is so heavy that even today, no ship will be able to lift it. The biggest loss of using uranium in an atomic bomb was that uranium is a natural element, and it can only be mined in a limited quantity. Researchers created a new element of uranium collision, which was not even natural, and was more unstable than uranium-235. This element was plutonium-239. America was in a hurry to complete the Manhattan Project, because on the one hand, World War II was going on, and on the other hand, America was also in danger that Germany might prepare this bomb before it. Finally, on July 16, 1945, the world's first atomic bomb was ready, and now it was time to test it. When it was detonated, the whole world was terrified to see its intensity. Oppenheimer and other scientists who were part of this project were also terrified of this weapon. This was the first weapon to endanger human civilization, which was now in the hands of humans. Without knowing what impact it could have on humanity, the United States used it on Japan's cities Hiroshima and Nagasaki next month. More than 250,000 people lost their lives in these two attacks. This incident had completely broken him from within, and he began to separate himself from the world. If he wanted, this power of America could have shifted elsewhere in minutes. For this reason, Oppenheimer proved to be a very delicate weapon of the United States, and various American agencies began to keep an eye on Oppenheimer. But then what happened was what was feared. In 1949, America's biggest enemy, the Soviet Union, suddenly detonated atomic bombs and blew up the world. Technology had leaked, but America did not know where it came from. Everyone's suspicion went to Oppenheimer because his girlfriend was also a member of the Communist Party, and his wife had also been a part of the Communist Party before. America's Communist Party had very close ties with the Soviet Union, but Oppenheimer himself had no interest in politics. The American president now ordered a veil to be placed between Oppenheimer and state secrets. An inquiry was held, in which Oppenheimer was accused of being an agent of the Soviet Union. He insisted on his statement that he had no link with communism and the Soviets. No one had any evidence, but the decision still came against him. Those who once held the status of powerful scientists were humiliated in public, and their security clearance and all rights to the project were taken away. The scientific community, including Albert Einstein, raised their voices against this decision, but it was of no use. For the next few years, Oppenheimer quietly lived his life and stayed away from government projects. Then about 7 years later, in 1961, when John F. Kennedy became American president, he offered Oppenheimer that he would create a new free and fair tribunal which would restore his security clearance. But this time, Oppenheimer refused. John F. Kennedy knew that he was innocent, so he gave Oppenheimer the biggest scientific award in America. But it was too late. Oppenheimer was diagnosed with cancer and died in 1966. His ashes were dumped on a beach in the U.S. Virgin Islands, which is now known as Oppenheimer Beach. I hope you will like and share this video of Poly TV. Thank you very much for your loving comments. See you in the next great video.